Good evening, folks. This is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Saturday, December 2nd, 12:14 a.m. Mountain Time. Boom! You're looking at Agung. This is the live seismogram from Agung. There's a major seismic event that's been happening for over 30 minutes. It's overlapping itself, and it is a substantial magnitude. Let's go live. God, I love saying that. Well, actually, that's the first time I said that. Here we have a circle spinning and spinning. No, this is the mountain. There's the outline. Sun's rising. So we're on, and here has a live seismogram on this multi-screen. So I don't know if this is actually, it could have blown up the whole village, and that's why it's spinning. But probably not. But we're going to see if we can get this to go again, because that seismicity is a heads up. We've been waiting for an uptick in seismicity here and Agung to come out. There was some minor long seismic events about 24 hours ago, some larger short-term events, and now we're into the red diggities. And the last time a red event like this happened, they were warning that the volcano was going to blow. That's a heads up. That was a few days ago. Let's come back here, and there we have the volcano live. We're back live. It does not look like any major changes have happened, nor does it look like it's erupting. So this is magma shifting, and you can see here the magma in the subsurface. These are subsurface seismics, live. There is motion happening under the volcano while I'm making the update. So we'll come back to it. It's so exciting. Oh my goodness. Chicka boom boom. So the cosmic ray flux has dropped off a little bit because the KP has come up. We'll talk about that in a minute. Quick, I'll give you a little glimpse. We've dropped back down into zero. I was going to say that this is coming down to low activity for a bit, and the seismic uptick could happen and volcanism could start again. And right as I started the video, I was like, boom. Okay. Grand solar minimum, much major flooding hits Albania, paralyzing ports and suspending air traffic. Look at that. City is underwater. A severe storm hit Albania on Thursday, continued affecting the country on December 1st, causing severe flooding in central areas of the country. Citizens are urged to follow official advice, avoid unnecessary travel, as the situation is expected to get worse. Cosmic ray flux is expected to continue for several days. 400,000 affected, 5 killed in southern Thailand. These floods are happening during the normal monsoon. It's what they're saying. That doesn't look normal to me. Rain records topple after Queensland's stormy spring. Look at the clouds forming here. Oh my goodness. This looks like a good movie. Really. Rainfall records tumble in southeast Queensland, with the last 3 months the wettest on record in some parts of the state. When it rains, it pours. It's not difficult to find anomalous wet things happening globally. In fact, guys, have you heard Vancouver had a record number of rainy days in November? Boom! You'll get a link. And $12 billion plan to prevent flooding. After everything that's happened. Was opposed by the government. What do you expect them to do? Confidence grows that the extreme weather pattern called the grand solar minimum will soon envelop the northern hemisphere. Well, heads up. The stage is set for a dramatic change in the weather pattern across the northern hemisphere during the next 7 to 10 days. That change will likely bring a brutal Arctic blast across the Midwest and eastern U.S., put Western Europe into the deep freeze, and maintain an area of extreme cold in Eastern Asia. The new weather pattern, we call the grand solar minimum, could give rise to snowstorms along the east coast of the U.S., though it is too early to tell whether that will happen. However, we will predict that the sea level will rise 100 feet in the next 80 years and that you're all going to burn up. Boom. These idiots. The past is the key to the future, guys. Traffic chaos, no post, school closures. You remember the deep freeze of 2010, UK, and how it paralyzed your cities? I'll leave you links to this article. Now, it's saying that the first snowfalls of winter have hit East Yorkshire, but 7 years ago, the situation was much worse. December 2010 saw the last real deep freeze. Boom. So, let's learn a little bit about solar dynamics. Here in North America, we had record snows at the ski resorts in 09 and 10. And now it's happening again, 17 and 18, 19. It should happen. So the same time you had the one record deep freeze in 2010 is not going to happen here until 2020. And then the next solar cycle in 2035, 33 area, that next solar minimum will be even lower and more insane. So I'll leave you articles and the links. Boom. Let's go to the magma live seismogram. Still happening, this event. So what I think is that the magma chamber is filling up again, and we're going to get a whole new cycle of eruptive behavior. That is my prediction. And we're going to be watching it. It's pretty exciting. So here you can see the overlap, and the seismicity is now dropping off. So this event literally lasted 30, 60 minutes, 78, waning now. And we're going to watch it. So seismicity should be on the uptick now. It had waned for the last 24 hours. Look at the map is kind of blank, but this should be coming back up. So heads up for seismicity on the increase, especially in the New Caledonia, New Zealand area and Bali. Because the K has fallen to 0, which is heads up to cardiac patients and other sensitive people. Now we're going to learn something at the end of the video right now. Right now, you can be telepathic. There is information coming out from a Freedom of Information Act release through the Central Intelligence Agency. In 1985, studies were done that KP0 results in spontaneous telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, near-death experience. They all occur at KP0. So this is the time we should all be meditating and looking for the answers. Do it now. And we'll get to that by the end of the video, so stay with us. Guys, if you don't know about the K7RA Solar Update, it's every week from the Amateur Radio Association, the National Association for Amateur Radio. This gives you a good outlook for the month on the sun, if you're interested in watching the sun. It tells you about the KP indices, when coronal holes and solar winds are expected, what the dates are, if they're going to be significant or insignificant, geomagnetic times for the month, if you want to prepare for quiet to unsettled, active to disturbed. So we're coming up the 5th to the 6th. We're going to have an active to disturbed geomagnetic period, and as well as the 19th and the 22nd of December. So this is a good place to get a monthly update for your space weather if you're interested. I'll leave you a link. Why Al Gore isn't giving up on the climate change fight? Well, because it's a cash cow. And he's got a little bit of a turkey gibble, jobble, gibble, whatever you call it. Yeah, a gobbler neck there. This is his new thing, Climate Reality Project, where they don't show the faces of anyone, and there are no scientists involved. The Climate Reality Leadership Corps is going to train ordinary people to become exceptional wizards and climate reality leaders. Embrace them. What this does is it allows normal people to become, they provide training in climate science, climate nonsense, in order to better tell a story of climate change. So these are charlatans fabricating a story. They're telling it right here, the truth, and they want you to donate. So click the button. It's hilarious. I mean, I tell you, He's going to do a live stream for 24 hours called 24 Hours of Reality, which includes musicians, actors, and politicians. And not a single scientist. Because who's going to... Come on, let's get real. A mass of warming rock is rising beneath New England. Guys, I studied up here. I did my field research all throughout this area. If you don't know about the Adirondack Mountains, it's made of anorthosite, which is the same as the moon. And a lot are hypothesizing that when the moon was captured recently recently in geologic history, a chunk of it broke off and hit the Adirondacks and formed the Adirondack uplift there. It also could be parts of Labrador. If you've ever eaten at a diner or at a place where there's black granite-looking tables, and when you look at them at an angle, they have a shine that's bluish or indigo. That's called labradorescence. And that's also part of this anomaly. But the mass of rock warming beneath New England, I think, may have something to do with that. I'll leave you a link to it. Here's the Freedom of Information Act. And this guy's pretty awesome. You want to know him. He doesn't look like a hero. But Michael Morrissey got this shit released. He did a Freedom of Information Act, and he requested any and all internal reports on the risks of geomagnetic storms to the nation. And you're about to receive from me 800 pages of the most important information you will ever look at in your life. Guys, this is some groundbreaking stuff. For instance, page 779, lightning protection for your home. This is hidden information on how to simply rig up lightning rods to your house to direct major lightning storms away from your family. But the breakthrough here is in the very first paper. Now, this paper is coming out in 1985 in tab A here from the Department of Psychology at Laurentian University by George Schalt and Michael Persinger. Geomagnetic factors in spontaneous, subjective, telepathic, precognitive, and postmortem experiences. I want you to read this. It's amazing. It's suggesting that when KP is at 0, that humans have telepathic abilities. And that geomagnetic and cosmic ray flux can cause spontaneous, telepathic, and clairvoyant events, precognition. And there is a direct connection between postmortem experiences and geomagnetic flux when the KP goes to 0. It's fascinating. Thank you, Michael Morrissey, for getting this information. You've never heard of it, and you never will, but I just told you about it, and I've just given it to you. It's the Muckrock link. It'll be very obvious. This is fascinating information. There's 800 pages of documents on hidden CIA information. This is the correlation here for the telepathy, this graph. Days before, during, and after the experience, and this is the geomagnetic flux down. It's a fascinating paper. Guys, there's a lot to look at here. This guy's one of our heroes, Michael Morrissey. Another link I'm going to give you is a way to look at space weather for a week. This is coming from Bartol. It gives you the X-ray flux, proton flux, magnetic field, and wind speed for the whole week live. So you can look at it. You see the day ahead. It's pretty nice. This is cosmic ray flux, because these monitors have been offline. If you want to get real-time data on cosmic ray flux, come to this Bartol site, which has now been offline, because I think they're making it difficult for us to get this information. But just click this 3-day detail, and you get this graph. It's live. It's all the stations live. So that's a heads up. I hope you got something out of the video. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. Get involved with our Patreon. We have one Patreon every day since we launched. I want to say thank you to all 29 of our new Patreons. Big heads up. You're all about to get surprises in the mail. Be safe, everyone.